the way that sort of interject my life in that is sort of my life as how it relates to my interactions with women. And I also use the women around me as sort of subject matter for my content. Instagram specifically, you're much more likely to see more images of them, whether they're friends I have in this business or clients on my Instagram than images of me, unless I'm given a video topic or something like that. So for me, I'm sort of living vicariously through the target audience that I work with and really allowing them I'm letting them get all the shine, man.
This is the online trainer show, trainer show, trainer show. This is the online trainer show.
We shouldn't have a podcast. You better not be tall.
He's 5'10".
All right, I can allow that. I'll allow it.
Yeah. Being tall is overrated.
Okay, yeah.
Amber, I'm sincerely happy for you that you found a boyfriend and that you're still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
It's for you.
Yeah.
Milk it, girl. Milk it.
I hope for your sake that this phase lasts longer than the token 2 weeks with most men. I wish you the very best in this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh man, Hallmark by Jonathan Goodman. So we've got a show today, and we're doing things and talking about things. You guys missed like 20 minutes of us figuring out what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a shorter show today because we spent a lot of our time figuring out. But we figured out something good. I feel like we figured out something good. But we took a long time doing that, and now we have less time for the show. So this is gonna be a shorter episode than usual.
But it could work. I think it's worth it. What's the Abraham Lincoln? If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd sharpen my axe for 6. We've effectively done that in the worst possible way here on the show today. That's not really what Abe meant by his quote. He was talking about actually being prepared. We used that 6 hours before the 8 from being unprepared, but it's okay. Like you guys don't need any additional or any excellence from us at all. I was about to say additional excellence, but that would indicate that there was some excellence to start with. There never has been.
I also think it's really important to remind our listeners every few episodes, probably the most pertinent point of this whole thing, which is you didn't pay for this. I think every 3 or 4 episodes, I need to just set that reminder and set that as like the baseline. Like this is free for you.
Yeah, and if you've got the paid version of Spotify, go listen to some Michael Jackson. Like that'll even out what you put into it. I hope you didn't pay to hear us. Go back to the free version of Spotify. Jonathan, before we start, with your permission, sir, there's something that I found out this morning that chaps my hide, and I just want to get it out. It's not a big thing. I'm not going big here. It's not like a testicular exam from episodes back, but. One of the things I found that chaps my hide is the differentiation in what meteorologists deem as the temperature and feels like. This is a concept I do not fundamentally understand. Right. So I'm looking at my weather channel this morning. Today in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's 38 degrees. Feels like 30. Like if it feels like 30, what do I care that it's 38? Like, how does that impact me as a human? Like, if it feels like 30, isn't it 30?
Yep. I agree.
Like helicopter pilots probably need to know that.
Here we go.
But Amber's new boyfriend is a helicopter pilot, by the way, who's taking her out on scenic sunset joyrides. Wait for that to stop happening after 2 weeks. I feel like it's like dating a massage therapist. You know what I'm saying? It's like you will literally never get a massage after the first 2 weeks of that relationship.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just really happy that now it is no longer my personal life here in full blast. Thank you, Amber, for sharing that burden with me. Thank you. You got my back.
Hey. Oh man, I'll be a celibate introvert until this podcast run ends. I will never divulge any information. I'm still working on maybe showing my hair here. Like, I'm way behind the curve, personal life, and I'm just going to keep it that way. I think my jokes flow better the less you all know about me. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I love you all. I just don't want you to know me at all. I don't want to personally interact with any of you in any way. But you're all very dear to my heart. You're all important. You guys matter to me. So
you guys matter to me too for give or take 35 to 45 minutes twice a week.
Twice per week.
Let's talk about the weather thing. I don't know what the answer to that is. I feel like meteorology is one of those disciplines where there's like a tiny amount of people who really deeply care about it and need it to be like technically precise. Like they need to know the kelvins that the temperature is in. And so if they don't announce what the actual temperature is, they only announce what it feels like, the like 2 out of 10,000 people are going to be up in arms and like call the weather station. I feel
probably,
like
weathermen do get threatened a lot though. Like I was watching, this is a legit thing. Like I was watching the documentary about forecasting. I'm sure it was on the Weather Channel. But they were talking about death threats that they've gotten for multiple snowstorms back to back. People calling the local news station being upset because it's raining on the day of a wedding. All it like people really do actually, this is a legit thing. People project their anger over what the earth does towards the person who's simply reporting what the earth is doing. Right. And it's amazing, but they have, I think one person was assaulted. One meteorologist had a story of being assaulted by somebody because the weather did not pan out.
Wow.
I think people think they're wizards.
That's crazy.
The exact opposite situation than the internet not working in your town and you being the mayor.
Like,
no responsibility.
Who are we gonna fight here? I don't know.
Well, like the mayor should be able to fix that, right? Is what I'm saying. It's not acceptable that 50 episodes of a podcast have to be done with lackluster internet when you are literally dating the mayor of the town that you're in. Like that's not okay. That's not okay. That's all that I'm saying.
I'm thinking about the power that these two young ladies wield through relationships. Keto is able to circumnavigate, political structures and policies and rules and here Amber is overcoming gravity. You ladies are basically X-Men. Like you're Avengers.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Around in a Black Hawk military helicopter. Sunset, right? Isn't that's the type of helicopter you told me he flies, right?
Does he fly a military grade helicopter, Amber? No.
It's bright yellow. It's hard to miss.
Okay. It would be cool. Like every time he lands, he's like Black Hawk down. That would be awesome. But he'd be my best friend if he did that. And I'm not sure he wants that, but just throw that out there to him. Pitch that for me casually. Work me in conversation. Yeah, work me in conversation casually. So Keto came up with a brilliant topic because Keto, can we be honest and say Keto's been basically carrying the show for like the last 4 or 5 episodes?
Totally.
Like I don't mind saying it. Like, I've been here. I've seen it. So Keto's basically carrying the show at this point. John tapped out when he went to Mexico. Can we admit that also? He's been fairly disinterested since he left Canada. He's like, I'll show up. I'll put my name on the thing, but I'm not that interested anymore in participating.
Probably extending this trip another month until April. So like this ain't gonna be over soon, everybody.
So be prepared for more apathy from Jonathan Goodman over the next 5 to 10 episodes. But thank God we got Keto. We've got a Keto here. I don't want to steal your thunder. I don't want to take words out of your mouth or put them in or wherever they go.
So the topic is how your content is your life. Essentially, your life is your content is your life. And
that's clever.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really catchy.
Amber, write that down. Your content is your life.
Do I get a full card with my picture at least this time?
Yeah,
it's a good card, but it's a good title.
That is a good title. You know, I was kind of just sort of joshing about you carrying the show, but then you actually came through with something that was actually of value. That's way to go. Great job there.
Carolina is she's such a ninja that way. She'll be so unassuming and you expect so little from her. And then she's like one of my like best friends from high school, where he would go to every single party and he wouldn't say a word. He would just wait in the background. And then he would drop the funniest joke of the night. And then he would he was preparing the entire night for one joke for the perfect timing. He'd drop it. It always hit hard. And then he just leaves. And then he was done.
That's it.
Catalina's like a great distance runner, though. She's really been pacing herself for the first 65 episodes. Right here in the stretch, she's got that burst of energy for the last 5 or 10 meters of the race. She hits that tape. She hits that tape with energy. You're in your stride now, Catalina. So, and what we wanted to do here, we wanted to sort of contrast, how Catalina's life impacts her content versus Jonathan and how his life impacts his content, and versus me, who works with the demographic that I don't exist in. I'm a shocker. I'm not a mom over 30, and that's my clientele group. Mm-hmm. So Keto, give us some of your sort of initial thoughts here. I'm frightened to say that.
Like crystal clear, like the 3 categories that we're going to be talking about here, because I think that
do it, Jonathan.
So
do it.
Carolina is her target market, right? She trains people like her. So she's going to talk about how to create content from her life. Len is not his target market. So he obviously can't create content for his target market from his life. So where does he get content from? I am pretty far removed, right, from my target market. I'm a business owner, and I have a couple different ventures that do a couple different things. So how have I chosen to create my personal content? I'm not talking about the PTDC content. I'm talking about my personal brand, my personal content. So the 3 very different things, which is why we thought that this would be interesting, which is why we took the first 20 minutes that we were supposed to be recording the episode. Now the episode's going to be a little bit shorter. So with that context, Carolina, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Perfect. So, yes, I am in fact my target market, and that makes things a lot easier for me, because as long as I am living my client's journey, I will never run out of content to create, because I am essentially doing the same things that they're doing. So for example, right now, as we talked about last episode, I have like my 4-week program running. And part of my selling point for this program is, hey, I'm doing things with you because I need this too. We're going together hand in hand. I'm not just there to direct the orchestra. I'm actually doing things with you, which was a big hit for the ladies in my group. And that was one of the big reasons why they chose to join. Like that safety of knowing that, yes, we are actually in this together. So we're working out the same way. We're following the same meal plans, and it's working out fantastically, because the content that I take for my private group, without adding detail or specification, or for example, the recipes and stuff like that, which is private to my paid clients, I still get to talk about how my meals are balanced, how this is what I need for my energy requirements for my day, all this kind of stuff. Same with my workouts, same with managing, working out with kids in the house, with my cat, going through my legs as I'm trying to work on my, right? Like, it's just, that's life. And because I am doing the things, I never run out of content. And so I think that for me, that's the big lesson that I want to leave here. Like, if you are stuck and without content, you need to kind of look at yourself and think, am I actually walking the walk right now? Or am I trying to teach something that I'm not actually practicing myself?
It's a good way to check in on yourself and make sure that, even for your own purposes, like, you can't fall off the plan because you're leading the plan.
Right.
I think about our online trainer coaching that we're doing, and I've been a client with it. right? And I don't coach in it, but I'm a client in my own fitness coaching business.
Yeah.
And I have to be like the poster boy for it, right?
Yeah.
So hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like,
yes. Okay.
It's great that way, which is super cool. And I think I love what you're saying, Carolina, and I actually would love to hear Amber's insight and experience into this too, because one of the things that Amber did a little while ago that I actually really, really loved was she did a photo shoot, but she refused to do a pretty proper fake photo shoot.
Right.
Right. So I mean, I won't put words in your mouth, Amber. You talk about what you did, and then I'd love to come back in and kind of talk about why I loved it so much and why I think there's so much to gain from that.
So the photo shoot that I did a couple months ago was at my house, and my target market is hot mess working moms, because hot mess working mom. And and so, like, in true form, like, and most people are like, okay, I need to clean up the house, and I need to do X, and I need to do Y. And frankly, I don't have the time or the energy to make the house extra presentable for a photo shoot. And I have, my son who's 3. And so we just did the photo shoot as is, no makeup, no special outfit, no nothing. And so we just kind of went about and played and had fun with it. And I, requested, no fixing anything, whatsoever, minus taking out, ugly outlets, in the photo. That was the only thing he edited. But outside of that, everything was exactly it.
Electrical outlets.
Mm-hmm.
How ugly are your electrical outlets in your house?
The house was built in 1997, so they're all like yellow and gross compared to my pretty white walls. So I have enough.
My house is built in the 1950s, and I don't need to like take out my outlets anyway.
Well, mine are ugly.
I just find it funny that like the one thing where you had to put your foot down. It's like,
well, I didn't. He just did it voluntarily. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. That's fine. But
you have to go. Now people are going to look at your pictures and be like, where does she plug in her things?
How is she powered?
So, right? But I love that, because to me, immediately now, you mentioning that that's what you wanted to do for the photo shoot and how real the photos are. And the photos are great. I'd love to actually, like, if you could do in the show notes, include one of your photos in the show notes. I think that'd be really cool for people to see, because the photos are great. And I think it's also interesting to note the difference between the photos that you publish versus Carolina, right? Carolina's photos are for like badass, like entrepreneur moms who are like doing it all. So Carolina's photos are actually much more polished, where she is much more polished, right? And neither is better or worse. It's just a matter of who you're attracting. And that's why I think that there's so much brilliance in this. And that's why I love it so much, and why, I think it's so cool just how different we all are with all of this. And to demonstrate that, because Amber, you can talk about how you wanted to do the photo shoot that way, and immediately now your content's going to stand out to the people you want it to stand out to, and they're going to have a reason to choose you and to work with you because you're like them. I know with our Online Trainer Academy students, a number of them have mentioned to me why they love talking to you so much as a coach, because you're literally like Nate in one arm, walking around your house, which is just like chaos, right? Coaching them, and they're like, oh my God, I love that, I'm able to work with somebody and be mentored by somebody who like is able to kind of keep focus and help me with all of it. Like, you're like me, right? You're not fake. I'll never forget. And then Ren, I'd love to get into you. Well, see if Carolina has a response for
easy.
But I'd love to. I'll never forget. I won't talk about who it is, but there's like a business coach, a female business coach in our industry, and it was one of her students. I was talking to them. I don't remember why, but she was an Online Trainer Academy graduate and went and did this mentorship afterwards. And I was talking to her, and she's like, "We actually had to all get on the call with one of our kids, because this business coach is like one of these, 35, 40-year-old, no kids, no husband, no family. And she's talking to all of these women with one or multiple kids who were working a full job, whose husband works a full job, about like time management. And they're like, you literally have no clue. Like you have no idea. Like, oh, just find an hour in the day. It's like, no, like that actually doesn't exist. Like an individual hour, like you just don't get it. And none of these people are happy working with this person because she just didn't get it. She didn't understand. Nobody who doesn't have kids can possibly understand just how unbelievably relentlessly consuming it is.
They are a vortex of like energy sucking, like, right? Like black holes of what, like where did my day go? Like what?
Yep. So nobody can get that, right? So anyway, so I love that. I would love for Caroline, if you have anything else to add, then
I do actually, because you mentioned,
and then take it to Ren when you're done, and I won't interrupt you.
Yes. So one thing that you mentioned that is totally true is that, like putting yourself, as we're talking about doing the things yourself. Here's the thing, guys. I have been seriously lacking in my workouts because, we're back in lockdown, gyms are closed. I cannot motivate myself enough to work out at home. I hate it. I hate working out alone. I need to see other people. So what I did is I cornered myself into having to show up for workouts every single morning at freaking 6 a.m. I wake up at 5:30 because my ladies are waiting for me in our group live to follow along with, and we're working out together. And now suddenly I'm doing the thing that I should be doing anyway, but I'm monetizing it. I'm making money while I'm benefiting myself and doing the things that I should be doing anyway. So it's like a double whammy. If that's the point where you're at, where you're not actually taking action on your own, then corner yourself, like force yourself into, like put your foot down in your own commitment and find a way in which if you don't show up, you're going to be letting down other people that paid money to be there with you. That's big. You're not going to turn back on that.
Absolutely. What a great way to do it.
I feel like we need if this was a radio show, there'd be a button for that. You'd like press the button and be like double whammy. Hey, Jonathan Goodman here. This podcast is made possible thanks to people like you. Here's a quick word from our sponsors. Are you still trying to pick your online training software? If so, let me make this easy for you. Go with PT Distinction. It's truly the best, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor. We actually use PT Distinction for our own online fitness business, online trainer coaching, and we're really happy with it. From onboarding to programming to client communication, PT Distinction has everything you need to run your online fitness business smoothly, and it's super simple to use. Now, normally they offer a free 30-day trial, but as a listener of the Online Trainer Show, you get a free 60-day trial, so you can make sure you love them before spending a dime. If you want to deliver first-class service to your clients while reclaiming your time, then visit onlinetrainer.com/PTD to sign up for your free 60-day trial today. If you're a fitness nutrition coach that's looking to master online coaching so that you can help more people, make more money, and have more freedom, then the Online Trainer Academy can help. OTA gives you the framework, knowledge, and support to have predictable success with your online coaching business. From marketing to business development to how to assess and motivate your clients online, it is constantly updated and refreshed to keep up with a dynamic market. Not only that, OTA is proven. In 7 years, we've helped over 30,000 coaches in 87 countries go online. Truth is, we know what works, so you can get right to the success part. And in case you're busy working a full-time job or you're a full-time parent, know that you can go at your own pace. There's no deadlines to complete OTA and you have lifetime access. That said, if you are ready to make a rapid change and finish the course in the next 8 to 12 weeks, you can expect to invest 3 to 5 hours each week on the program. And here's the best part. If you join today, you will make an extra $1,000 a month in 90 days, or I'll give you your money back. So if you're ready to build the fitness business you want and make the money you deserve, go to onlinetrainer.com/academy to enroll today. And I hope to see you in there.
So for me, I exist absolutely outside of my demographic, right? So the context of my life, the way I'm able to pull off content, and for anybody that exists outside their demographic, this is a good suggestion. You have to become relentlessly observant and empathetic. So I have to pay very close attention to the community that I serve. In some ways, I'm able to immerse myself in that community. There are some spaces on the internet, Girls Gone Strong being one of them, where I can immerse myself in a group and just shut up. Just shut up and listen. Shut up and listen and let other people inform you of what the reality of their existence is, instead of trying to be like the business coach that Jonathan just talked about, who's telling people with kids what it's like to have kids. I would never do that. I could not imagine myself telling women, here's what it's like for you ladies, and I'm going to solve your problem. Like, I'm going to have a very short career doing that. So,
I'm gonna
so
stop
for
you right
me,
there.
right?
What I
Yeah.
know about you. Stop talking, just stop
Let me
talking.
tell you about you.
Linda, listen, honey. Linda, listen. Linda, listen. Like, I'm never going to do that. Like, never going to do that. So part of my skill set comes from my upbringing. I was raised in a home with a mom and a sister who was 13 years older and a grandmother, all there together. So that helped. But sure, what it helped me do more than anything is listen and observe. So I think any good comedian, and I'm not saying that I'm a comedian, but I think that the best comedians in the world, like your Dave Chappelle's, maybe somebody like a George Carlin, classic comedian, they are Richard Pryor for sure. They're very, very good at observation, and that's how they're able to entertain a room, no matter who's in the room. So when you're outside of your market, the way that I sort of interject my life in that is sort of my life as how it relates to my interactions with women. And I also use the women around me as sort of subject matter for my content. Instagram specifically, you're much more likely to see more images of them, whether they're friends I have in this business or clients on my Instagram, than images of me, unless I'm given a video topic or something like that. So for me, I'm sort of living vicariously through the target audience that I work with, and really allowing them I'm letting them get all the shine, man. Like let the ladies shine. If I need to interject here or there, my observation based on what I've learned from being quiet and listening to that target audience. So that's sort of how I'm able to sort of lead my way through my content.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like module 3 of the Online Trainer Academy. There's a full chapter about the importance and tactically how to build your business by celebrating your clients.
100%.
By turning them into the all-stars. They should be the focus, right? You shouldn't be the focus. They should be the focus. And I think a lot of trainers perhaps don't do that as much. But Len, yeah, you do a great job with that. And you also, I mean, you tell your story. I mean, your why is so firmly rooted.
Oh, absolutely. Having.
I mean, are you kind of sharing that here? Like, why you look at that audience?
So for me, having lost my mother, it wasn't. I can't say it's early in life, but she did have a stroke when I was a sophomore in college. I dropped out of school, had to pay my way to get back into school. She was my sole provider at the time. And I remember how startling that was to experience. And then in between her having a stroke and her passing away, my sister died. My sister was an addict. She drank and she got in a car. She hit a tree. Earlier in 2020, my baby sister passed away. So all those things make an imprint on you. They give me a great desire to help women who are typically overstressed. They learn to put themselves on the back burner instead of the front burner. The industry is not very forgiving to women in general. So I speak out about that. So I try to see myself as an ally for my target demographic instead of an antagonist, which happens all too often, especially from males in this industry. Susan, I can't want it more for you than you want for yourself. You need to work harder, Susan. Well, Susan's going through a situation right now where her husband's having difficulty communicating with her. The kids are all over the place. She's questioning her own womanhood. She's, I work with moms over 30. So a lot of the moms that I work with, as they get 40 plus, 50 plus, they talk to me about how they're starting to feel invisible as in their feminine energy. So if you don't know that, if I'm not willing to observe, understand, and empathize with that, it makes it very, very difficult for me to work with that demographic. But yeah, the why is big for me in that category as far as my reasoning for working with moms. I think, in the online training space, I think what we do is we become what we wish we would have had at the time we had the need, right? Mm-hmm. So I wish when I was a sophomore in college, there was some like super charismatic guy, obviously very handsome, who would have been able to talk to my mom and tell her a joke that would have got her to exercise a little bit, maybe giving her a shorter workout, maybe not been so restricted with food, just to get her involved in exercise so that she could stay the course for a longer period of time, which would have totally reversed the conditions that my mother dealt with. She wasn't overweight, but she smoked and she stressed. So I became that. I became the thing that I wish existed at the time I had that need that ties to my story, which is why the story is so important for online coaches. But yeah, that's a great question. Great question and great point, Jonathan. Sorry. Violated the contract there.
Violated the contract. Yeah. And every time you do it, we take away a Canadian loony.
Right. Okay. Now I'm only going to be able to get 2 Tootsie Rolls this week instead of 3. So I did it to myself, John. I knew better. Don't worry. I'll do worse next time.
Not like candy corn or some other weird Halloween candy. Like Tootsie Rolls were always pretty legit.
It's a legit candy,
Legit candy. It's a much better candy than like candy corn.
Candy corn is probably it's the bargain basement candy. Candy corn is the favorite candy of Al Qaeda. Yeah, that's as I understand it. Yeah, I don't. It's terrorist candy. Oh my god! Oh, I tickled myself. What we were talking about? Oh. So I love kettles and ambers because they're so authentic. And Jonathan, you mentioned a little bit, but seriously, like in terms of your personal content, like right. What do you and I know that you believe that Instagram is a black hole of despair and where things go to die and all light gets sucked in into a wormhole that ruptures the space-time continuum. But other than that, beyond that, what are you doing on your social media personally? Like, what do you think?
When I go through phases that I care, which is few and far between, but if I'm honest, I mean, look, the PTC is my business, right? So, my personal brand isn't as important. I've also I've done the work that nobody else in our industry has done. Like, who else in our industry has self-published 11 books, has produced and published 1,000 articles, all of that stuff brings us hundreds of new eyeballs a day, hundreds of new pairs of eyeballs a day, a few million a year. Like, my personal brand on Instagram is kind of irrelevant. But I think my journey has been important because I've gone back and forth with a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff that I've done really hasn't worked well. And so what I predominantly sell, I think this is the most important thing. What I sell predominantly is business, right? I mean, we've got online trainer coaching, which is fitness coaching, but the reality of it is like we're a business development company for the most part. The Online Trainer Academy, the Online Trainer Academy Level 2. And what I have found is that business content on social media falls flat. Nobody cares. It's the type of thing that when people want it, they want it now. They don't care about being teased about it. They're not trainers particularly are not passionate about it to interact with it on social media on an ongoing basis. And so I used to create a lot of business lifestyle type content because it was what I was interested in personally. And I mean, I still do from time to time for anybody who follows me, but for anybody who follows me on Instagram, particularly, you'll notice a big shift of mine in the last couple of months where I basically turned my account into a fitness account. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I'm just really loving my workouts right now. Like I said, the online trainer coaching has been life-changing for me. I mean, I really am loving my workouts. But also, it just gets a much better response. And at the end of the day, like, I kind of need eyeballs. We have the way that we internally kind of refer to our product funnel and stuff like that is with people who are aware and unaware. So there's like product aware, product unaware, solution aware, solution unaware, problem aware, problem unaware. Well, for people who are problem aware and solution aware, our content is going to be very different than from people who are problem unaware, right? So somebody who enters in at the top of our funnel, who doesn't really know about us, doesn't really know about what we do, they're almost never going to enter in looking for business information. Mm-hmm. They're almost always going to enter in a way that's more natural to them, which is fitness, right? So they're problem unaware. They actually don't even, maybe they know that they have a problem with business, but they're not actively trying to solve it yet.
Right.
So they're entering in with fitness, with like a different way. And then as they get to know us better, they start to trust us. And so sometimes it comes from me personally, sometimes it comes from our website. And so I've really dove deep into that. And as opposed to like creating brand new content, I think it's very important to create expectancy in your content, particularly on Instagram with what's called franchises. So you'll notice a lot of the big accounts, and I do this on mine, is I publish, I don't do it as consistently as I should, because again, I go from periods where I care to periods I don't care.
Yes,
but
black hole.
Care, yeah, black hole of despair. And so when I do care, I use generally the same type of franchises of content, right? So I've got this thing where I do notes from Coach John, which are literally like notes that I write myself on my phone, and I publish those. Well, those actually like by far get the biggest reach than anything that I promote. And people come to expect them, right? And people come to understand kind of what they are and look forward to them. Every day when I work out, when I remember, I forgot today actually, but every day, so it's funny, but every day when I work out, I take a quick selfie or something like that and just do it in my story.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, reliability and expectancy across content is actually not spoken about enough, I think, in people who like teach how to create content, like that, not just the same type of messages, but actually producing them the same way. There's like a comfort level in that. You know, most people are pretty mindless. Trying to understand a new piece of content or a new format or whatever it is takes a lot of energy. Not a lot of energy, takes more energy. And so this way, people who follow me kind of know to expect it. And it's almost like the satisfactory thing. Like I noticed it with other people, which is why I started to do it. It's like, oh yeah, it's like an awareness thing where people get to know me better. So that's what I've been doing. And I mean, the reality of it is I could grow my Instagram account really quickly. Like I gained 200 followers in the last day from one piece of content that I put out. Like I can tell you exactly what type of content is going to grow my account and how it's going to grow it. And again, this goes back to just kind of caring and not caring from time to time. It's a whole nother conversation. It's a priority thing with me, right? Like at the end of the day, what's more important for my like for an online training business that's personal brand oriented, content is very important, probably the most important thing.
Right.
For somebody like me who runs a business with, I don't know, 25, 30 people, like with multiple products, multiple coaching products, content, whatever, it's like me taking an hour out of my day to create an Instagram post is probably not the best use of my time.
Right.
Kind of.
Right. That makes perfect sense. I love what you said about franchises, you know, and I noticed after several years of me doing Wonderful Women Wednesday, you all of a sudden had a Fantastic Female Friday. I need to speak to you about that off camera, by the way. We don't air our dirty laundry. Well, Jonathan and I don't. Carolina and we air Amber and Carolina's dirty laundry, but we don't air our dirty laundry. Yeah.
Once I started posting,
you guys have done some interesting things, far more than
the doctor checkups and the ShamWow for sperm and all that.
I ain't so that doesn't count.
But there's also, I want to be very clear. There's actually nothing wrong with imitating how somebody else does something. Like I started doing these like notes from Coach John. Within 2 weeks, I started noticing like all over the place, people started doing it the exact same way.
And that's okay. We all borrow ideas, creativity, and inspiration from others.
100%.
Yeah. I literally call mine notes from Coach John, so I'm sure you know.
You scratch out the John and just like Jones. Instead of John is Jones.
It's a drawn on ES after the type JON. I don't care. It's not like John sees my content anyway. I was like, what's the chance he's gonna see this? 0.
You should totally do that. Just a spoof, add like a scribbled ES at the end, and put your picture on his face.
It's like Jonathan logged off the second that the send button was pressed. He's off of Instagram until the next 6 weeks from now. He doesn't notice me plagiarizing his content left and right. He probably admires me for it. You're welcome, Jonathan. It's my gift to you, sir.
Legitimately really funny if you did that.
You should.
Oh my gosh. So are we wrapping here, Amber? Okay, Amber, the helicopter co-pilot has said that it's time for us to wrap up the show. Always listen to the captain. There used to be a great 80s helicopter show called Airwolf. I think it was the name of it. Great show. But I digress. That's not important now. We'll get around to that some other time. In any case, I hope you guys have a good understanding of sort of how you can utilize the things that are going on in your life naturally and normally, but also how you tie into the things that you're offering your clients, right? Because Keto and Amber made really good points about that. The packages that they're offering, the products that they deliver, they're participating actively in the same type of lifestyle, whether it's Keto and her hot mama or Amber and her hot mess. So living through the authenticity of your life and how that ties into what you offer to your clients is a great way to always have some type of content, just sort of live out loud, through the internet, to the extent that you feel comfortable sharing things and, the levels of transparency. But it's a great way to not have to try to quote unquote come up with content. Because content's probably happening all the time. You're just not documenting it. Like Jonathan, shamefully not posting his post-workout selfie today. You're going to get your influencer badge taken, young man, if you keep that up. Because we know what an Instagram influencer Jonathan is. So I hope you guys got some value out of this episode. It took us the first 20 minutes of the episode to come up with the topic. I think we pulled it out. I think we did well. It could have been much worse, and that's pretty much how we judge things here on the OTA, on the Online Training Show. Could it have gone worse? If it didn't, we won the day. So victory laps for everybody today. Show notes. Don't you guys get to see Amber's hot mess pictures in the show notes. So make sure you check into the show notes today. onlinetrainer.com/podcast. It's been our distinct pleasure to ramble for 20 minutes and then give you 6.5 minutes worth of content here again on the Online Trainer Show. Hope you tune in next time as I gaze into a stoic Jonathan Goodman's face right now, mesmerized by the magic of his eyes. Jingle, jingle.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.